begin with the visiting Boston Fleet, shall we? Again, today the second leg of a back-to-back for this team. Jill Saulnier getting the start on that top line with Susanna Topany, and Courtney Kessel opting to flip the lines a little bit from yesterday's starting lineup. Sophie Shirley will be on that top line. No shuffling here from last game to this game, but they are still dealing with the absence of Alex Carpenter, as we heard Abby mention earlier. So that means the top line looks like Sarah Fillier, centering Abby Rock and Jessie Eldridge. Let's go in between the pipes where we see Kayla Osborne starting for the Sirens. She came on in relief of Corrine Schroeder in the loss at Montreal on Saturday. On the other side of the ice, we have Erin Frankel, who got a rare day off entirely yesterday. Didn't even dress as the backup, especially with that back-to-back scenario. Courtney Kessel opting to give her the rest, and she should be sharp and ready to go today.
For New York, we talked about their starts being important. I can see them throwing a lot of pucks in, trying to swarm, cause some early turnovers, get their feet moving quick, see if Boston's got some bus legs from the long ride in yesterday.
And New York will start with possession deep in their own zone, trying to break out. Allie Simpson feeds it up to Peyton Levis, who sends it in deep before giving chase. Megan Keller taking over. Keller, by the way, had a 3-game point streak snapped yesterday, but has been absolutely on fire for the Fleet.
You want to talk about wash, rinse, repeat. Just so dependable, so predictable, makes it easy to play with as her partner. And forwards always know if they put their stick down, Keller's going to find them.
Here's Bourbonnais trying to join the rush. Not able to get the shot off cleanly. And meanwhile, Rattray went hard into the boards, has to pick up her stick and is a bit slow to get up, but stays on the ice. Abby Rock now gains the zone for the Sirens. Tried to center for Eldridge. That wasn't there, and back comes Teresa Schaafsal. Rattray with her. Schaafsal stops up, looking for help. Tries to go down low, and Rattray in serious discomfort. You can see her going to the bench.
Yeah, she put the Jets on to get up. I saw that 2-on-2, and as soon as the 2-on-2 busted, she came right off and went right to the dressing room.
Definitely something we will keep an eye on as this game progresses. Less than 90 seconds in, you'd hate to lose one of your top leaders on the team. New York will go for a change. We mentioned it already, but New York has not had its way with Boston this year. We've got a heavy hit. Some physicality already showing itself here this afternoon.
That's New York. It's Boston. Good rivalry. Teams have played each other a lot. A little snarl has built up over the last 3 games.
Susanna Topany stops up. Goes up for Pelkey, who's bumped off the puck. Good job by Jade Downey-Landry getting involved physically, and she was definitely a force to be reckoned with when these two teams met on January 31st, a game that saw a record 15 penalties.
JDL has been so good for this team in so many ways. We get a quick icing. Rattray took a big hit. Take a look at the top part of your screen, and she drives the net here. She was hurt before that. That just didn't help.
Yeah.
And there you see going off to the bench.
Allie Simpson trying to use the end boards to bank it over to Jessie Eldridge. Instead, Boston collects the loose puck. Keller again, sliding it across to her D partner, Sydney Bard. Up for Jillian Dempsey. Dempsey signing a standard player agreement a few days ago due to the injury to Hannah Bilka for Boston. And her absence has been felt by this Fleet squad. One of their top scorers and certainly a rookie phenom in her own right. They're hoping to get her back sooner than later.
Injuries for both of these teams have shown how important depth can be and how important their presence in the locker room is. When you lose a scorer, obviously it makes an impact, but a lot of scorers become leaders by example, leaders by work ethic, and they are just lightning rods for attention. So when they're not around, all of a sudden, a lot of the roles that normally one person would play start to shift to different players around the dressing room, and how they handle it makes a big difference on how your team reacts.
Stretch pass up for Hillary Knight, game-winning goal scorer yesterday, and sends one just wide of the net. Hillary Knight has already matched her goal total from last season in fewer games.
Remember early in the season, she talked to us a lot about being more efficient with her energy. And I think that has a lot to do with it.
New York trying to keep the pressure coming. It's Ella Shelton back for Bourbonnais. Bourbonnais able to gain the zone, flips it deep. Still just one shot on goal per side to this point. And Rattray back on the ice. 2-on-1 has Brandt with her. Brandt shoots wide of the net.
Nice job by Rattray. Delay, hold, wait for that play to happen. And then a great centering pass. No ill effects of the early hit on Rattray. She's good to go, and that's what I'm talking about. She has shifts that are impactful, whether they're physical, whether they're with the puck, whether they're defending off the puck. She just understands how to take the pulse of a game and how to play it.
And as tough as they come, clearly shaken up, but able to come right back into game action. She's a hockey player, as they say.
Right, injuries are optional in this game.
Jade Downey-Landry sends it ahead for Chloe Gerard, who rings it deep. Micah Zandy-Hart fighting off Sophie Shirley for possession. Boston able to get it up for Saulnier, the former Sirens player who was traded just about a month ago, gives her former teammate a shove before heading to the bench.
You can always tell when a player gets moved from one team to another and then comes back and plays their former team, who they liked and who they didn't.
Gerard, the other player involved in that trade, just went down. She's number 71 in the teal.
New York's had a couple of good deposits into the Boston zone.
Centering pass. Knight sends one just high.
Haven't been able to get anything out of it. Whereas Boston has thrown a couple in along the half wall, won a couple of battles. And there's another chance.
Boston buzzing early. Kaylee Osborne up to the task so far. It's the Fleet and the Sirens here on Kids Day at the Prudential Center.
Well, guys, the star power is out for this heavyweight bout before the game. Alex Carpenter gifting none other than Eli Manning a personalized New York Sirens jersey, and the team around him, the New Jersey Colonials. It's personal for the former New York Giant. His daughter, Caroline, playing on the Colonials alongside of Greg Fargo's daughter, Emerson. So, guys, Fargo speaking to how it's cool to have Eli Manning as a part of the Dad's Club as they both support their daughters off the ice, guys.
Thank you, Abby. Yeah, he said the first time he saw Eli, he said, wait, that's Eli Manning. He had no idea he was part of the dad crew of what would become his daughter's hockey team here in New Jersey.
No matter where you look, you're going to find some kind of a unique dad somewhere when it comes. And I'll tell you what, you're now starting to get into that scenario where you're finding a lot of unique moms being around too. And we talked the last game about Cullen Potter, who's playing at Arizona State. And his mom is Jenny Potter, and she might be one of the best women players who's ever played the game. And it's amazing to listen to Cullen talk about how, well, you know, his dad played for the University of Minnesota, has coached for a long time, but it was his mom's playing career that really influenced him as a player and helped set him up as a potential first-round draft choice in the upcoming draft.
We love all the connections, especially when it intersects with other sports, right?
Oh, no question.
Not sure Eli knew his daughter would be a hockey player, but here she is.
And here's the thing. We want multi-sport athletes. So it's great to play hockey. It's great to play flag football, which I know is a huge sport now among young girls playing sports.
New York trying to put on the pressure and have that good start. Fargo's looking for Eldridge. Tried one through the goal line. Another chance for Eldridge. Frankel says no.
Here's the thing, they're recovering rebound. That's huge.
I mean, Ruff flips one off her backhand. Denied once more by Frankel.
So it's the third time they've gotten a shot and they've gotten it back on this shift.
And that one, a blast from Nyland Person, deflected high and out of play.
Really good work by New York. They get one in, they get above pucks, and they get some opportunities. And Greg Fargo really talked about wanting to get a good start. It's been a little delayed, but he got it. You know, he talked a little bit earlier about their depth. Has it been a little bit exposed without Carpenter being there, with the scoring starting to slow down a little bit, like Carpenter comes back in? Because with Carpenter back in the lineup, gives you a little bit more creativity with your lines.
Fillier takes a shot that finds traffic in front. As you just saw on that graphic there, Boston dominating this season series to this point, winning the first 3 of 6 meetings, including a dominant shutout performance for Aaron Frankel and company on February 12th, which was just last Wednesday. Here's Ella Shelton leading the rush for the Sirens. Stops up, centers for Fillier. Fillier takes a shot, had it blocked on the way, taken off her stick by Alina Mueller, who gains speed now through the neutral zone. Mueller has Knight with her. Knight couldn't get all of it. Good defensive play by Allie Simpson to try to break it up.
Simpson came rushing back, but Shelton on the original.
Brown sends one that bounced dangerously toward the cage. Kaylee Osborne grabs it with the glove. We'll be right back in a scoreless game from the Prudential Center.
What stands out early?
I think our bus legs right now, honestly, I think we got to wear them off, and then we got to start getting pucks deep and get our legs going a little bit. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Boston did have to bust down here. So that's why she's talking about the bus legs. They were planning on flying, but due to the snowstorm happening in the Boston area, they opted to just bus directly after their matinee matchup yesterday. I'm sure it was a happy bus trip, though, because they had a come-from-behind win in which they scored 4 unanswered against Minnesota to get the regulation victory and put them solidly in the 4 spot. Emily Brown had the blue line, thought about a shot, ends up ringing it around the boards. Shea Maloney, centering pass, had Knight in the slot. Unable to settle it down. Shea Maloney able to hold the zone.
Oh, did she ever read that pass? She jumped that route perfectly.
Well, we will have our first power play of the afternoon as Gabby Rosenthal gets called for a hook.
We were talking about the special teams earlier, the Boston power play. As we take a look at the penalty right here, no doubt about it.
A face-off win on this power play for the Fleet. Their power play actually hasn't scored since way back on January 5th. Going 8 straight games without a power play goal. Keller across for Pelkey. Mueller tried to send it right in front of his Toppany. Unable to get a clean shot off. Hillary Knight back up for Mueller as this power play is brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel Paper Towel. Power through tough messes. Down low for Toppany once more, who's just parked out in front, net front.
Bilka had that goal you were referring to back on January 5th. In the last 5 games, Boston power play 0 for 12 in 22 minutes with only 10 shots on goal.
Asked Courtney Kessel yesterday if it's a point of concern, and she said Hillary Knight winds up huge pad save, rebound, they score! Alina Mueller off a juicy rebound, and the Boston Fleet strike first.
Mueller, the darling of hockey East, gets one as a good entry for Boston. That's a tremendous deposit of the puck into the zone, force a quick turnover, and then Boston goes to work, and Mueller's able to pick it up and coming in high. But it all started with the dump, and good shot by Knight. Great rebound as New York got caught a little flat-footed, but it was that soft deposit down the wall that started the whole thing. If the goalie can touch the puck on a deposit of the puck, it really breaks the forecheck. But Boston was able to put pressure on, force a turnover, then they went to work.
Alina Mueller scored the empty net goal yesterday, giving her goals now in back-to-back games. And again, a huge power play goal for a power play unit that had been struggling lately. And just to wrap up the thought, Courtney Kessel did say yesterday that she thinks special teams are very important, especially the power play. And she was really hoping to see her team start to put some good looks together. Well, they sure did there.
We take a look at this goal again, and we take a look at that deposit. So the puck, Kelly moves the puck up. Great job here. Here it comes deep. Now as it's rolling in, stop it right here. If the puck gets to the goalie here, she's got the ability to go one way. She can chip it off the wall, go the other way. Except she doesn't. So now Toppany can come in and put pressure on. Boston sees the wall as they jump that route. And then they finish off Knight and Mueller with a couple of shots.
So get this. Alina Mueller, awful start by her lofty standards to the season, right? First 8 games, 0 points. Now 10 points in her last 8 games.
You know what's interesting with veteran players? Veteran players either come out like a house on fire and then level, or they come out slow and then they really catch fire. It's amazing to watch no matter what league you're watching. There are things with the vets, is they know when it's not going well, they know why. They're okay taking a couple of games for it to settle in, and then they get it together and it's off to the races.
And her teammate, Hillary Knight, now has an assist in all 4 meetings with New York so far this season.
Knight has done a lot of what Marie-Philippe Palant has done this year, and that is mastered the simple. And one of the reasons why she is so good, and continues to be so good, is she does the easy things better than a lot of other people do. And to me, that is the mark of a great player. It's not the highlights, it's the ability to do the small things well, do them consistently, and that's why her season has been great.
She scored the game-winning goal yesterday against Minnesota, which matched her goal total from just a year ago. Yeah, she has a record 14 World Championship medals and is the only player ever, men or women, to score more than 100 points at the World Championships. About to take part in her 5th Olympic Games next year. We assume. I think it's a safe assumption.
Let's think so.
The puck comes all the way back into the New York zone. Icing waved off. Bourbonnais rings it around the boards over to Fecteau. Gabby Rosenthal sends it in. Frankel steers it aside. Peyton Levis tries to pick up the loose puck. A turnover, though, and it's back going the Boston direction. A penalty coming as Schaafsal looked like she took a hit up high.
Now, as this puck's coming up, see where the puck is now? Stop it right here. It's because of this. If the defenseman retreats just a little bit and creates space here or covers space there, that's okay. But because she stepped into the player who had moved the puck away with no attempt to play the puck, that's where the penalty comes from. So in that situation, as a defender, you're better off backing along with the player and staying in the space that you've earned as opposed to impeding the progress.
This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. Pelkey spun around, falls to the ice and loses it. Megan Keller able to hold the zone. So Boston, just a few minutes after scoring a power play goal, goes back to work as Pelkey's shot didn't miss by much. Wide of the net, banks off the end boards. Keller finds Mueller, walks into the circle. Off the end boards again, Toppany touch pass. That shot just missed again.
The biggest problem when you try to gun one to the net and you miss far side is there's going to be nobody standing at the point on the opposite side for you because everybody has gotten tight.
Well, New York had been very good on the penalty kill, I should say. They do sit first in the league by a wide margin, but already allowed the 1 power play earlier today. Mueller winds up and fires right on, save Osborne. Mueller gets it back again. Down low for Knight below the goal line. Over to Toppany. Toppany up for Pelkey. They play catch. Trading places, it's Toppany. Pelkey centering pass for Toppany in front. A save by Osborne.
Nice shot by New York. They've allowed a little bit of penetration into the hard area, but they've had good sticks. They boxed out well, not allowed anything high caliber to get to the net.
Now Lexi Agia hands it off for Shea Maloney. Agia driving the net, kick, save Osborne. Another clear now for the Sirens. Time winds down on the penalty.
And no matter how good your structure and your penalty kill is, your goalie's got to be your best penalty killer, and a big stop by Osborne.
Turnover at center ice. Ella Shelton up for Gabby Rosenthal. Rosenthal stick handling in. Stops up in the corner. Checks over her shoulder. Sends it down low for Peyton Levis. Levis hands off to Downey Landry. Tried to beat her teammate in the slot. Boston Fleet able to sort it out.
It is amazing how many little plays defending off the puck 27 in blue, Jade Downing-Landry makes. And there's another one right here. Tracking back, harassment, gets a puck stolen, laying a body into people. She plays as the number 4 center. She plays an invaluable role on this team from a defensive standpoint and can contribute offensively.
Was second on the team last year for PWHL New York with 8 goals. This year, only 1 to her name so far. But you're right, she does the little things that don't get tracked on a score sheet. Face off one, back to Shelton. Rings it around the boards over to Levis. Pressured by Keller. Hillary Knight hands it over to DeGirolamo, who sends it up for Jill Saulnier, former New York player. Trying to fight off Ella Shelton. Shelton able to push it ahead for Levis. Now Emmy Fecto. And a turnover there. It's DeGirolamo scooping up the loose puck. Megan Keller again trying to set things up for the Fleet. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the opening frame. A decent start overall, especially if you look at the Sirens start lately. They were probably pretty happy with things until they allowed that power play goal. And that is the difference to this point. Emma Greco looks up ice, feeds Hannah Brandt. Brandt has Maloney with her, and they're in offside.
Megan Keller, experienced veteran player, breaks the puck out now. You see how she came out her left side? She's a left shot. She came out the left side on that forecheck. If you're New York, you got a defender behind the net, long stick, tall. One of the best things you can do is force them up the other way. Force them to come out on their offside, because now they've got to navigate the net with their stick closer to the net as opposed to open and free ice. And you got a better chance of trying to influence them into making a mistake.
Nyland Person able to gain the zone with speed. Hands over to Jessie Eldridge, just out of her reach. Eldridge able to get it back, brings it around the boards up high for Shelton. Quick pass over to Fillier. Fillier takes a shot right into the glove of Frankel.
There are a lot of players in the league that are really good with the puck. She is really good, if not exceptional, when she doesn't have the puck, which makes her that much more dangerous.
And even in the 6-2 loss to Montreal on Saturday, she still had 2 assists. Sydney Bard centering pass for Toppany. Keller, top of the slot, shoots it wide. And you saw in that graphic, Fillier is tied for second with 17 points as Osborne hangs on. But how about the fact that she's scored a point in 13 of her 16 games to start her PWHL career?
Carpenter and Fillier together on that top line, they both love to play east-west, get north fast, play the game in 5th gear, play with a ton of pace, make mistakes because of how fast they are. Then you find a complementary third. Now you've got 2 lines that can really go, and that lets your defense, and their defense core is elite. That lets the New York defense core become that much more active offensively.
Good point. Well, Greg Fargo told us earlier this afternoon that Carpenter is still listed as day-to-day, and they certainly hope to have her back soon. He said, I'm not just saying that, we think she will be back soon. And they certainly need her as they stare at another deficit after the first period. 1-0 thanks to Alina Mueller's 4th of the season. The first 20 minutes of play, just the 1 goal for Boston coming by way of Mueller, as you saw. Shots on goal actually in favor of the Sirens, but unable to solve Aaron Frankel to this point. And you know what I love what Greg Fargo told us before the game, his daughter's hockey team, they all know the names of all the Sirens players and a lot of the other PWHL teams as well. But these players that we're watching here today, when they were growing up, if you asked them who their favorite player was or who they wanted to be, they probably had to point to NHL players.
For sure. Or some of the players in smaller markets would have talked about the local NCAA team that might have been there. But look, the game continues to grow. The game continues to expand. As we've talked about a lot, hockey's for everybody. And I'm telling you, you're creating this entire generation right now of younger female players that are going to be talking about these players as their inspiration for staying in the game.
Of course. The whole idea behind representation, right? And if you can see it, you can be it. So many girls in attendance can see themselves one day playing professional hockey.
And that's more jobs, that's more opportunity, more career advancement, and the contacts you make in the hockey world can stay with you the rest of your life. And that's one of the other great reasons why when you play the game to high levels. Big hit by Shirley in the neutral zone.
Leads to Jill Saulnier flipping it off her backhand. Kaylee Osborne up to the task, but man, nastiness starting to take place.
Nice big hit in the neutral zone. Here you see it, 9 and white, and Shirley, big collision. And then that wound up coming back down to the other end. Fecto was on the other end of that big hit in the neutral zone, and a discussion is what it led to in front of the New York net.
As the officials are going to gather to discuss something, probably whether there's going to be a penalty to hand out.
I'm wondering if, like, there's such a thing called an unobserved penalty. It's when the linesman sees something, the linesperson sees something that maybe the referees didn't, and they might want to take a look at it. And they just made the signal that they are going to take a look.
Are they going to take Shirley to the box? They're going to take Shirley to the box, I think. Wow. Yeah, Shirley, what I was going to say is Coach Kessel told us that was one of the players that she's been impressed by and put her on the top line because she's loved her game lately. So this is a tough blow right now for her as she will have to sit and look on.
Officials have made the call. And it looks like Shirley is heading to the dressing room.
And now a lengthy advantage for the New York Sirens, who again are very good on the season. 19.3% coming into the day. Good for second in the league. Golden opportunity for them to try to tie this game up here as this power play is brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel.
They are 3 for 21 in their last 5 games in 31 minutes and 10 seconds of power play time.
Fillier gains his own, makes a nifty little move around Jill Saulnier, chips it over to Ellis Shelton, who rings it around the boards for Eldridge. Eldridge fights off Morin. Off her backhand, goes up to Fillier. Cross for Shelton, over to Zandy Hart. Zandy Hart down low, good stick by Morin to get the clear.
Zandy Hart faked herself out in the process. She thought she had an option. She wasn't sure if she wanted to put one to the net for a tip or a deflection, or if she wanted to make a pass down low, and she got caught right in the middle of her decision and then turned the puck over.
As you saw right there, not just the number 2 power play, but the number 2 penalty kill in Boston, but they will be put to the test here with this 5-minute major, already 1 minute gone. Eldridge up high for Zandy Hart. Zandy Hart walks the line, down low, below the goal line over to Eldridge. Tolush spins off Rattray. Back up high for Eldridge. Ellis Shelton slings it across as Bourbonnet's drive rebound chance was there. Gabby Rosenthal sent it wide.
Shift getting a little long for the Boston defenders here.
They need a clear. Instead, it's held in by Harchie momentarily. Now Rattray will clear it out, and Keller comes in shorthanded. Nifty little move around Bourbonnais. Keller sealed off by Osborne.
What a read by Keller. Little shifty, shimmy, shammy in the neutral zone.
And a heavy collision between Harchie and DiGirolamo. My goodness, the temperature turning up in a hurry. Another shorthanded chance. Bobbled momentarily, but Osborne able to recover.
Boy, we've talked about the Boston PK being so good, and here they get on a little bit of offense, and nice move by Keller to walk Bourbonnais. And by the time she got to the net, might have been a little out of gas. Remember, the Boston foursome that was out there was getting a little tired. There was part of a collision between Toulouche and Keller a moment before that.
And now a short-handed possession for the Fleet.
Yep, killed 21 out of 22 in that 8-game span. Last 5 games, they've killed 13 of 14 in just over 24 minutes, only giving up 14 shots.
Nearly halfway through this power play, Sarah Fillier gains the zone before falling to the ice momentarily. Emily Brown tried to clear it, unable to do so. Some more heavy hits along the boards. Another clear for the Fleet.
New York not able to get set up, not able to get eyes up time.
In all alone, it's Eldridge. Eldridge shoots and scores! Jesse Eldridge And we're tied at 1. How about that connection? They caught the Fleet sleeping and made them pay.
There was also a collision between one of the Fleet players and an official.
Hannah Brandt.
Which didn't help. Osborne picks it up, quick up, and as soon as Eldridge saw the change happening, she went to the far side of the ice, catches this pass from Osborne, and gets Frankel between the wickets. She had Frankel leading one way. You can see Frankel's reaction.
What a way to take advantage on the advantage. My goodness, Kaylee Osborne.
I'm wondering if Courtney Kessel is discussing with the official about the collision between the official and the player. But the officials are in play. I mean, that's part of it.
The advantage continues now for the Sirens because of that 5-minute major. So still 2 minutes to go of power play time. Bourbonnais across from Nyland Person. Trying to feed Harchie, who was in her equipment. Still able to get the shot off, but Frankel gobbles it up.
Osborne with it, just a soft chip out, and Eldridge perfect. Coming down her off wing, so she got some options. She looked like she was going to drop her right shoulder and continue towards the middle. I think as soon as she looked up and realized that she had Frankel's feet wide and leaning to the left, she realized it was time to let it rip because Frankel's feet were now frozen.
Talk about a heads-up play for the Sirens netminder. Another save by Frankel. Rebound comes out. And good stick work by Tolush to keep this possession alive. Tolush trying to fight off Keller. Keller lost her stick momentarily, picks it back up, and Abby Rock looks at her options from below the goal line. Island Person across now for Bourbonnais. Down low for Harchie. Island Person over to Harchie. Good stick by Sydney Bart, and Shea Maloney will get the clear for Boston.
And that's why the Boston PK has been so good lately. It's little plays like that. They jump routes really well. Their details are good. Sticks are out, sticks are on the ice.
In all alone now as Gabby Rosenthal has Eldridge with her. Couldn't get a clean look at it. Eldridge again a chance. Frankel, the save. Brilliant opportunities for the Sirens. Rosenthal again, pad save Frankel.
So it's been the unstructured time where New York has scored.
Shelton, a drive that hits high off the glass.
And another one unstructured time where they've gotten another chance.
Billier, unable to hold the zone there. Micah Zandy Hart will chase it back within her own end. Has Mueller bothering her. And back to Kaylee Osborne. Congratulations on her first PWHL point.
Oh, we love when goalies get points. Just makes your whole day. Eldridge with another opportunity as she goes to the net. Gets a stick on a puck, and Frankel they got her swimming a little bit. She stayed with it, stayed competitive, and makes a big second save. But Eldridge is buzzing.
6th of the season for Jessie Eldridge. Gives her the sole possession of the team lead in the goals department. Check that out. Carpenter has 6 goals as well, but she has been sidelined for the past couple of weeks. Well, they killed off the rest of that 5-minute major. 6 total shots, though, by the Sirens on that extended power play, including the power play goal. Abby Rock carries in now for New York. Stops up and brings it around the boards down low. Ella Shelton there to pick it up.
So New York got 6 shots in 5 minutes after Boston had previously given up only 14 in 24 minutes, killing penalties. Good momentum builder for New York.
Yes. Simpson trying to pass it down low. Morin disrupts the pass and brings it out to neutral ice. Taylor Gerard able to gain the zone now for the Sirens. Nearly 7 minutes gone in this middle frame. 2 power play goals, 1 for each team. And that's been the story so far. Ella Shelton slings it across for Simpson. Traffic right in front of the net. Ella Shelton was basically in the cage. Make it Jade Downey Landry, who's still net front.
Just a little buzzsaw. Every shift, you just know she's out there. Every defender she plays against knows she's out there. Forwards know she's out there, and especially offensive zone time, the goalies do.
Dowling Landry just the 1 goal on the season, but she had a hat trick against Boston last year. We'll step aside momentarily, but Jessie Eldridge in all alone thanks to Kaylee Osborne's brilliant stretch pass. New York has tied this game at 1. Welcome back. We are tied at 1, thanks in part to Kaylee Osborne, who is all smiles.
But there's nothing better as a coach. Watch this. So Eldridge scored, celebrates with her teammates. What's she doing? She's pointing right to Osborne. So even though the celebration is around Eldridge is making a very demonstrative
Concerted effort, yes.
To show that Osborne was a big part of it. That I can't tell you what that does for a coaching staff and a team when they see things like that happen. It's not about the player who scored. It's a shout out to the player who created it, and that is awesome to see.
True team effort on that one, and New York right back in this game. In talking to Greg Fargo before the game, he told us Kaylee Osborne is a fierce competitor. She just wants to win at everything.
As they're showing Eli Manning here in the building.
Hey!
But when you don't get a good start, sometimes it's incumbent upon your goaltender to hold down the fort, to let your team get its feet underneath them. When that doesn't happen, that's generally when the big first period collapse occurs.
You saw Eli Manning on the Jumbotron. In case you missed it earlier, Abby LeVar reporting that Eli is a hockey dad, a hockey girl dad. And he is here specifically as a hockey fan. He wanted it to be known.
It is amazing to think of the impact that the U.S. winning the gold medal in 1998 in Nagano, at the first Winter Olympics that held women's hockey. You think about how important that victory was to the growth of the game on the women's side and the girls' side here in the United States.
Absolutely. I remember it as a little girl.
So you're showing my age now as I say I remember that as an adult.
Oops.
That was Ben Smith who coached that team. Yeah. That's true, they don't. But that was Ben Smith's team, and Ben was one of the people very instrumental in helping put together that U.S. team and getting women's hockey into the Olympics, where it has been a mainstay now.
And let the countdown begin for next year's Olympics, happening in Milan, as another heavy hit. Hannah Brandt delivering the hit, but then Boston fights right back. I believe it was Emily Brown who basically started what has now become almost a line brawl, and Eli loves it.
However, he'll turn to his daughter and say, no, don't do that. It's okay if they do it, but don't you dare.
Let's take another look at how this all came to be. I believe Hannah Brandt was initially the one who delivered a pretty heavy hit on the Gabby Rosenthal. And then Peyton Levis, who, let's remember, Peyton Levis and Erin Frankel, and Hillary Knight for that matter, all got into it back on January 31st in what was just a nasty game between these two. This is where the familiarity breeding contempt comes into play.
Now, here's the thing. If you're going to take a shot at a player, you don't do it in those scrums where all 4 officials are standing there.
And so another tremendous opportunity with a 5-on-3 power play presented by Royale Tiger Towel. A shot fought off by Frankel. Sarah Fillier feeds Zandy Hart, thought about the shot. Hands go to Shelton. That shot turned aside. Fillier from the near circle. One-timer. No rebound. Gobbled up by Frankel. Fillier fell to the ice momentarily. Gets back up. Zandy Hart to Eldridge. Out to Fillier. Fillier shot high and off the glass. Shelton over to Zandy Hart. She walks the line, top of the slot, hands off, one-timer. Shelton found traffic in front. Eldridge back to Fillier. Eldridge tried to go up high. It was just a bit too high.
Frankel fought that off really well. That was a nice little battle of patience between those two.
Now Gabby Rosenthal out to Shelton. Shelton across to Fillier. They'll trade places. Fillier to Eldridge at the goal line, pass across. And Zandy Hart just missed. Eldridge gets it out to Shelton. Now Fillier from the right side moves toward the center. Fillier over to Zandy Hart. Trying to add a little movement here. Fillier shot and a save by Frankel.
Boston needs a whistle. They have been out there a long time.
Still 30 seconds to go here on the advantage for the Sirens.
And New York's made a couple of changes.
Now Bourbonnais, fresh legs onto the ice. Down to Eldridge. Across. Shelton's one-timer. Fought off by Frankel. Eldridge winds up and fires. Looks like she hit Rosenthal in front, and Rosenthal will go to the bench a little bit shaken up. Unintentionally blocking her own teammate's shot.
That penalty kill was all Frankel. What a job she did, and a little momentum boost for the Fleet.
5 shots, 5 saves on that power play.
So New York, in 7 minutes, has taken almost as many shots as Boston gave up in their previous 24.
Trying to expose, trying to expose something on that PK. And while the Fleet allowed 1 power play goal, that was an impressive kill on the 5-on-3. Saulnier lost an edge on her way into the zone. A bit slow to get up. And she'll head to the bench for a new stick. Nora Tolush flips it behind her into the zone, but it comes right back out. Tolush collects again. A little miscommunication, gets it back. Erin Frankel proving that she might just be the MVP of this Fleet squad. Simpson tried to send one on net and hit Morin on the way. Now Downey Landry back to Simpson. Elizabeth Jaguar freshly onto the ice. Couple of brilliant opportunities on a 2-minute 5-on-3. Erin Frankel up to the task.
As we welcome you back, I'm now joined by Greg Fargo, fresh off the 5-on-3 and the big power play to start the period. What are your thoughts on how this team has handled those situations?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I mean, power play is a great opportunity to get some momentum. I know we got the one. You want to get more when you have 5 minutes and then a 5-on-3, but feels like the momentum's shifted in our favor here, and we just got to take advantage of it the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Abby.
Greg Fargo looking at that as a win, but I got to think Courtney Kessel's pretty pleased with the fact that this game is still tied after all the extended time her team has had to kill.
That's a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to kill penalties. And don't forget, they played yesterday. So back-to-back, that second game, let's get a little heavy as the game goes on, especially after a bus ride.
Ellis Shelton circles the net, goes for a lap, and hands it across to Bourbonnais. Stayed in the zone just barely. That shot just on rebound chance, somehow kept out by Frankel. And now Brandt and Shelton will shove each other a few times right in front of the net.
Brandt's been feisty.
Man. Peyton Levis trying to keep the play alive before Bard flips it out into the neutral zone. Courtney Kessel at the start of the season told us that Hannah Brandt and Hillary Knight were really the 2 players that she looks to most as the ones who were able to help Boston climb from the bottom of the standings and make the playoffs after a brilliant push after the international break last season.
Got themselves into the finals, and a great 5-game series against Minnesota.
Here's Hillary Knight in all alone, scores! What a goal by Hillary Knight! And the Fleet are back on top.
It's got a breakaway day here in the Prudential Center. Another one as Hillary Knight gets sprung. I think one of the New York defenders, Simpson blew a shoe, and that allowed Knight to come in, and Knight in a good spot on her off wing. Those at the far side is sitting there and just snaps it, but she capitalizes on a defender losing an edge as Simpson tried to gap up, lost her balance, and Knight just blew past her.
Knight, the game-winning goal just yesterday against Minnesota, and now just over 24 hours later has put her team in the lead once more. She had 6 goals all of last season, now 7 this season. That shot from Shea Maloney into the glove of Osborne.
Goals so hard to come by, and you get the big 5 and then the 5-on-3. You get 1 out of it. You want more, and then you can score it on quick. Takes the wind out of your sails late in the period.
Centering pass. Jesse Eldridge was net front, unable to connect. So Alina Mueller, an assist on that goal and a goal earlier today. She's got 2 points, so too does Hillary Knight. And remember, Sophie Shirley is out the rest of this game with a game misconduct, and so Boston going to have to play down a forward.
And they really like Shirley up on that top line to get her going with Toppany in the middle.
Micah Zandyhart trying to settle things down now for the Sirens. Nora Tolush plays it up before Saulnier delivers a hit. Saulnier getting her first goal with the Boston Fleet just yesterday. Had a goal and a beautiful assist as well.
It's going to be a penalty on New York. I think it's going to be on Bourbonnais, and I think it's going to be interference. Bourbonnais not sure she agrees with the call. Keep your eye on 14 in green. Yeah, that's one or the other. And a good call by the official.
This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. Boston 1 for 2 on the day with 4 shots. An early clear for El Harchi and the Sirens. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the middle frame. Period that saw New York tied up with a power play goal of its own before Hillary Knight answered back at even strength on a breakaway. Another clear as Levis tried to carry it out. Lost an edge. And Boston able to regroup. Now Alina Mueller carries in. Goal and an assist for her already today. Another clear for the Sirens. Boston in the middle of a stretch in which they will play 6 of 7 on the road. They'll go to Ottawa on Thursday before that takeover game in Buffalo on Sunday against New York. Toppany tried the short side. It was sealed off by Osborne. Abby Rock tries to flip it out, and Keller unable to hold the zone. Hillary Knight right back in for the Fleet. Has it taken away by Nyland Person, who sends it the length of the ice.
New York doing a really nice job at challenging at the lines. They're not letting Boston get in with speed. They've had some good up ice disruption, but I like the way that they have gapped up at the line.
Now Shea Maloney working in. Flings it off her backhand. Ella Shelton sorts it out. Here comes Harchi. Makes the move around Shopsall. Sticking with it, but Alexia Gia able to strip the puck. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Rattray has Shopsall back to Agia. Agia takes a shot. Osborne gobbles it up.
Good transition by Boston. It was a 2-on-2. Got broken up, which means the transition was going to be 3-on-2 the other way because of the numbers. And there you see Agia with a nice play to get a puck up high. She was part of the original rush in the lead. Circled back and became a secondary option.
13 seconds to go on the Boston power play. Overall, New York doing a good job on the kill, showing why they are first in the league. DiGirolamo, and that kicked out by Osborne. Back to full strength as Bourbonnais is out of the box. Morin had it blocked by Levis. Racing ahead, it's DiGirolamo who gets there first. Saulnier to send it deep, but Osborne out to play it. Cut off by Knight. Over to Brandt. Try to center for Saulnier, streaking toward the net. Glove down by Morin. And that shot blocked by the captain, Zandyhart. Final minute of play here in the second period. Hannah Brandt skates it in now for the Fleet. Centering pass to Saulnier. Lost it. Levis at the end of a long shift. Tries to ring it around the boards, but she's gassed and has to go to the bench for a change. Now Rock trying to keep the play alive, tried to shoot, and Frankel was there to stop it.
This is all because of how smart Levis was. You brought up end of a shift, you're 100% right. But instead of just throwing a puck away, what did she do? She carried it down the wall, protected it, left it off, and took off. So she set up the next group for success with the puck in deep, and they almost get a chance as Rock almost capitalizes. And those are the little things that prove to be big things if they pay off and you get a goal out of it. Great play by Levis.
Ella Shelton leaves for Bourbonnais. Mueller picks up the loose puck. Time winding down on the second period. And the Boston Fleet will take a 2-1 lead into the dressing room.
New York's net front presence as we move to period 3 could prove to be a difference maker.
Well, it was a 1-goal lead for Boston after 1. Same story after 2. Don't go anywhere as we have a very special couple of guests here. Billie Jean King and Alana Klaas will join us in the intermission. What a game we've had so far here today at Kids Day at the Prudential Center.
And it's interesting because for the most part, last 3 games, New York has been the better team with even strength offensive zone possession time. Tonight, tonight will be a little skewed because of the power play.
Emmy Fecto trying to help the Sirens break out of their own zone, but a good forecheck by the Fleet to keep it alive. Hillary Knight now rings it around the boards up high for Keller. Over to Bard. Finally, Allie Simpson will try to break out, but again, Boston able to hold the zone. Now they'll go for a partial change. Fresh legs onto the ice for the Fleet. Boston coming in waves. Hillary Knight takes a shot, deflected high and off the glass. Long shift for the captain, and she'll head to the bench. New York trying to snap a 4-game skid. They've lost 3 of those 4 in regulation. The 1 point they were able to get was against Boston in a shootout.
And we just talked about what is the one thing that New York wants to do here is try to get pucks behind the Boston defense, but Boston's really good in the neutral zone and tying them up. Watch 5 and white. Watch Keller. She knows that they want to try to airmail one. She holds her spot, and now with numbers is able to generate a rush going the other way. Good veteran play by Keller. She read the airmail. It didn't get over her head. She was able to turn that play around real quick and join the rush.
Keller is tied with Ella Shelton for the league lead among defenders with 5 goals. Drop pass for Hobson, rips it, blocked by Keller, who's then taken down inadvertently by Hobson.
And what a track back by Rattray. She got nailed. And the offensive zone was down for a second, and then she put the afterburners on and absolutely demolished somebody in front of the net.
Errant pass, and Jamie Bourbonnais picks it up. New York able to stay onside as Shelton sends one on, fought off by Frankel. Rebound loose, right in the slot. Levis had a brilliant look. Another chance, and Frankel still unable to find it. My goodness. Ella Shelton holds the zone once more.
Now this looks more like New York in period number 1. Chances at the front of the net and then recovering pucks as their big line's on.
Sirens buzzing now, centering pass. Fecto tried to find Rosenthal. Couldn't connect.
Good offensive zone shift. Puck possession. Set your next line up for success.
Emmy Fecto has Jaguar. Jaguar top of the slot. Save Frankel.
Fillier coming off the last shift. She was the last of her line to change. She waited. When the puck came out of the zone is when she took off. And right after the change is when the Jets for New York got put back on.
Frankel up to 26 saves on 27 shots faced today. That's more saves than she made in a 4-0 win back here on Wednesday.
So you're saying she's settling in here at the Prudential Center.
Well, again, Boston has had its way with New York so far this season as Amanda Pelkey carries in. Deflected right toward Osborne, but she makes the save. But how about the chances on the other end of the ice?
Well, getting a little sticky down in the defensive zone. You see the chances for New York as they activate their D, get 4 into the hard area, recover a couple of pucks, and here's that second opportunity I was talking about as Giguère jumped off the bench to replace Fillier and jumped into a spot. While we were showing you this, there's a little bit of a kerfuffle in front of the New York net.
Had her first shutout of the season on Wednesday against this Siren squad, as we mentioned. And then went on to have a 5-game win streak, but it was just snapped on Friday in Toronto. Got the day off yesterday in the first leg of a back-to-back and has now been stellar in her return to the net. We'll be right back for the conclusion of this game with the Fleet leading it 2-1. New York able to break out of its own zone, but Morin will speed ahead to catch up to the loose puck. Shea Maloney delivering quite the hit on Emmy Fecto along the boards.
That was interference in my book, big time.
Boston may have gotten away with one there.
Oh, did they ever?
Now a battle for the loose puck as Schaafsal can't get there first. Instead, it's Bourbonnais turning it the other direction. Seven minutes gone here in the third period. Rattray, 3-on-2 if they hurry, has Brandt with her. Rattray tried to send one on net. It was blocked instead, and the rebound, or no rebound rather, puck goes deep into the Boston end. Now Rock spins it into the zone, but looked like they might have been in offside.
So we talked a little bit earlier in the period about if you're New York, you want to get Boston's D's to have to turn and go retrieve some pucks so you can put your forecheck back on them.
There's a forecheck chance, and how about that? Pesheva all alone in front, rebound, and they score! It's Jamie Lee Rattray. How did that find daylight?
Rattray literally willed his puck into a good spot. Boston gets on the forecheck here a little bit. She forces a turnover, goes back and gets it, banks it off the back of Osborne, and in. It was just dogged determination by Rattray. Here's the shot. Puck goes behind that. Rattray right after it. Doggone mode. And all she wants to do is put it towards the front of the net so that Shelton can't make a play on it. She puts it off the back of the goaltender. That is Jamie Lee Rattray in a nutshell. Everywhere she's gone, she has always scored big goals. Back to her days in Clarkson throughout her pro career. Gets another big goal here, and it was all because of hard work.
My goodness.
There is not a coach in this league that would not tell you there is not a roster spot for Jamie Lee Rattray in their lineup, because she can play a lot of different roles with her veteran leadership and her skill.
Looked like she was just trying to center it for Pesheva, who was all alone in front of the net. Instead, she'll score her third of the season, second against New York.
So if you look at behind the net, once again, Rattray, 47, just goes for it, puts it off the side of the net, puts it off the goalie. The smartest thing you can do here is put it in proximity to the paint, because you're hoping, you're just hoping to get a hard area goal with somebody coming in there, or maybe a crazy bounce off the goalie gives you a second chance. So she just reverse pitching wedges one to the front of the net.
Pads the Boston lead, too. Talk about a clutch moment, right? There's a big difference in hockey between a late 2-1 lead and a late 3-1 lead. That centering pass for Fillier just couldn't get a handle on it. Unable to get a shot off clean, and Boston skates it out. Now Mueller has Maloney with speed. Good stick by Eldridge to disrupt the play.
Boston, the story of this period has been Boston's ability to not allow New York out of its own end. They got a goal out of it off the forecheck a moment ago. But the bottom line here is Boston has not allowed New York a lot of clean outs. This one is not bad, but it's a 1-on-4.
Right. Abby Rock trying to fight off those 3 or 4 Boston Fleet players, able to still skate it away. Takes a shot from the top of the slot, but just wide.
But New York has seen a lot of pucks.
Boston has numbers if they hurry. Bard over to Agia. Aaron pass ends up going the other direction, but Pesheva gets it right back for Agia. How about Daniela Pesheva, who's making the most of somewhat limited ice time? It's been a key factor here so far. Chance in front. That one fought off by Frankel. Hartje was there.
We say, Jamie, when you're the 7th D, you just be ready when your shoulder gets tapped and make the most of your minutes.
And anytime New York looks like they're putting together a grade A chance, Aaron Frankel has been that last line of defense, and they're in offside. Nice breakdown. And nice to give some shine to a player that, again, is kind of in and out of the lineup, changed up with different D partners. Pesheva, a big part of that most recent goal that has given Boston a 3-1 cushion.
You know, when you and I are doing games, if you're in the bottom 6 or the bottom 3 on the D pair, you are going to get some airtime.
I love it. All these women are professionals, and we'll be right back for the rest of this game. Back here at a 3-1 lead for the Boston Fleet, who have put together a nice little stretch here, having won 3 of their previous 4 games. Right off the draw, face-off win. Ellis Shelton got a shot off, but it was blocked by Schaafsal.
It's been a little things clinic for Boston. 5-on-5 in this game.
Abby Rock tried to center Villiers. Frankel, what a save!
And you saying that a whole lot has been a big factor too. Right, she has just been terrific.
Best player of the day for the Fleet. And that's saying something, as Alina Mueller has been all over the ice. Hillary Knight has another 2 points. A true team effort for this Fleet squad that has really found some great chemistry, and things are clicking lately for them. Toppany leads the team in the goals department. Carries through, looking for another. DiGirolamo will send it deep. Picked up by Pelkey. Back to the point for DiGirolamo. Off the end boards. Toppany picks it up. DiGirolamo going down low, trying to center for Saulnier right in front of the goal. Boston buzzing here late. Shot by Toppany, blocked by Bourbonnais. Boston still able to hold the zone, and Toppany, the pass just out of her reach, or she would have had a brilliant look at the cage.
She's one of those people that typify you can't make a bad pass to a good player.
Yeah, she got there to catch the puck, but it was just far enough out of her reach she couldn't get a shot off clean.
She's rangy enough that she gets to a lot of pucks with soft hands that allows her to corral them.
Here's Mueller looking for Knight. Knight off the backhand, just hit the side of the net. Knight again picks it up, looking for the wraparound, and a pad save by Schroeder.
Aaron Frankel with another set of big saves down in her own end. Play goes to the front of net. She does a great job at building the wall down low to force you to go upstairs. And then on this play here, Hillary Knight, not the first, it's the second chance. You've got to know who you're on the ice with. Hillary Knight is a player that will never give up on an opportunity by the front of the net. Some players will do the front of the net, the tip, nothing happens, and they get a flyby. Not Hillary Knight. If that puck's still sitting there, she will go get it.
El Hartje plays it over to Shelton. And now Boston trying to do what they do best and smother the other team, not allowing much of anything. Nora Tolush leaves for Nyland Person. 7 minutes to go here in the third period. Archie from up high. Looking for a deflection from Jaguar. Couldn't quite connect.
And Patient did another nice job here. Just turn that one over.
Tolush off her backhand. Rebound chance. Still loose for the moment, but Agia able to settle down the loose puck.
But just before that, she broke up a scoring chance with a good play on the wall.
Tolush back to Hartshee. Tolush has to go to the bench for a change. Now Bourbonnais circles the goal. Try the short side. Sealed off by Aaron Frankel.
I like this idea by Bourbonnais. As Bourbonnais walked down the wall. Actually, it was a play right after. First, it was a good play by Tolush to get a puck to the front of the net. But right after that, Bourbonnais made a nice little play. She faked a scissor play like she was going to move the puck off of the exchange and took it all the way to the net because she thought she had a lane to it. I like the creativity.
Bourbonnais trying to hold the zone. Schaafsal able to break it loose, and Rattray again, the physicality against Zandy Hart. She might get called for that.
Not only might she,
did she?
But if you're planning to make a bet on it, do it right now.
Oh, there, yep. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yep, so Rattray draws the penalty. She's been good, she's been solid. And it's, once again, one of those players that Courtney Kessel liked to talk about. She told me last year about Rattray.
It's not Rattray who got called for this.
No, but Rattray was kind of helping make the play here to create it with her hustle. She said to me about Rattray, she goes, there are going to be 5 other teams in this league. They're going to realize that they passed up on a really good player.
This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. And shorthanded, here's Abby Rock. Abby Rock tries to make a move. Frankel calmly steers it aside to Toppany.
And obviously, the New York penalty killers will have the green light.
You're thinking jailbreak time.
They can go, and go. Don't be afraid to throw a long pass and chase one down if you got wind early in a shift.
Kaylee Osborne can stretch the ice. We've seen that already today.
Absolutely. They've got one short-handed goal in the season. Jade Downey-Landry has it.
To the surprise of no one. Hillary Knight, top of the slot, fanned on the shot, lost the puck, and Gabby Rosenthal unable to clear it. Now Shelton will do so.
And that's what I'm talking about. You get somebody who's got a little freshness to them, throw one down the length of the rink, see if they can win a race.
Schaafsal trying to break it out. Instead, it's Maloney carrying through the neutral zone, has it on her backhand. Lexi Agia from below the goal line. Cross for Greco, who feeds Schaafsal. It's Morin at the point. Zandy Hart sorts it out, and Peyton Levis will now take it the other way, shorthanded. Levis had it stripped by Maloney.
She had the right idea on that cutback going east-west. She had the right idea. She knew exactly where the open space was. At the last second, Boston converged and took it away.
Remember, Boston still playing without Sophie Shirley. Rock winds up and fires right on. Frankel squeezes the pads. New York has had its chances. Good looks. Plenty of power play time. Yet still find themselves trailing by 2 with 4 minutes to go.
To me, the difference in this game, in a lot of ways, has been Boston's ability to pin New York in and not let them out clean, and Frankel.
Yeah.
That has been, and also Boston have been pretty good on the little things, but Frankel's been the best player in the game for them, and they have done a great job in making sure that New York doesn't see a lot of clean outs.
Saulnier.
And there was another example of a great track back by Saulnier.
And forces the turnover.
Yep. Slows a player down. Now you got a wounded duck. Grab it. Turn a puck around.
DiGirolamo sends it back for Sydney Bard. Maloney tips it in before going to the bench for a change. Now just over 3 minutes to go, and time winding down on the New York Sirens. We'll keep an eye on Kaylee Osborne and see how aggressive Greg Fargo decides to be, but here it'll be icing. 3 minutes and change to go. Here's Taylor Gerard, the former Fleet player, sending it deep now for New York. Back comes Toppany, gaining speed through the neutral zone. Toppany stops up, crunched along the boards by Bourbonnais. Fillier flips it in now for the Sirens. 2.5 to play. And New York just unable to get to sustained zone time. There she goes, Osborne to the bench. Extra attacker on, it's Peyton Levis. Shea Maloney has Knight. Empty net in front of her, catches up to the loose puck, and scores! Second of the game for Hillary Knight. And Boston opens up a 4-1 lead to seal the deal.
Courtney Kessel said before the game, some teams just match up better with other ones, and everybody in the league's got one of them. And for Boston right now, it's New York. They struggle with some teams, they find success with others, and at the moment, the Fleet have just absolutely owned the Sirens. New York, when they pull the goaltender, they should have a great chance to establish possession, and Boston was able to turn it around on them. Knight's been really good today, but to me, Boston has just been the example of do the easy things better, do the simple things better. That has been a big part of why the Fleet are ahead 4-1.
So for the fourth time this season in 4 meetings, Boston will beat New York. And it'll be the 4th win in 5 games for the Fleet. That goes a long way when you're talking about how tight the standings are, especially at the very bottom of this league. 3 teams were tied for that 4th and final spot just yesterday at the start of play. Boston getting a regulation win against Minnesota and another here today.
The beauty of the short schedule is that every point matters. You see it in NCAA Women's Division I hockey. You see it in this league right here. Every point matters in those short seasons.
Not only has Boston won all 4 meetings with the Sirens, they've actually outscored them 15-5 now. And New York, after starting the season on an offensive tear, has now managed to score just 6 goals in their last 5 games. They'll be right back here against Toronto on Wednesday, a team that's been playing much better lately. Fresh off an overtime win last night in front of a sold-out crowd in Edmonton. The usual home of the Oilers made way for the women in a remarkable way. That shot kicked out by Frankel, and just for good measure, she'll add her 34th save on 35 shots today.
Frankel and Mashmeyer seem to be 2 of those goalies that face a lot of shots, and the more shots they face, it seems like the better they play.
Frankel has a season-high 38 saves earlier this season, so not quite up to her season-high watermark. I don't think that'll bother her too much at all, as she was absolutely stellar in her return to the net. New York will try to solve some problems on Wednesday. We'll be right back here with you from the Prudential Center on Wednesday as they face the Toronto Scepters. Once again, our final score, 4-1 Boston. For our entire crew, I'm Jamie Hirsch saying thanks for joining us.